You guys will, you'll absolutely jack up your life if you run around reacting to everything. You're super emotional, and every little thing that happens sets you off. Okay, so this video, I'm gonna get right into it. And it's to help you reduce stress in your life. If you're dealing with some overwhelm, maybe find yourself emotional, panicking, dealing with some anxiety, and you just need to ground yourself. Come back to this video, rewatch it, because I was just on a call with somebody, an entrepreneur, and they had something happen in their life. Their husband, came down with cancer, and when your mind, when you have a near-death experience, your mind races and races and races. And so I was sitting there and I was coaching them and guiding them through dealing with something like this, because they didn't have all the answers, but they were freaking out. So for you guys that freak out, man, maybe you watch the news and you freak out. Maybe you're constantly worried about, it could be anything in life. You get some bad news and you start freaking out. This video is gonna help, all right? So if you're new to the channel, I'm Jeremiah Sullivan, former Army Ranger. I was a small town kid and a quitter in life, and then I turned my whole life around by working on my mindset, getting good mentors, and I became an infantry officer, 75th Army Ranger, then infantry commander, ran 100 miles in the Colorado Rockies, and then got out, started building leaders, started helping people achieve their personal and professional goals, all right? So I do online coaching and in-person coaching. I also have some other things that I'm invested in, but that's the gist of it. If you guys want to work with me, you click the link down below, click on the application. When you fill that out, you'll get a text from me and we can start talking. My starter program, stage 1, is where we build the best you. It's fitness, personal development, and mindset. $299 a month, up to $2,000 for the year. And that's where we get started. All right, let's dive in. So, point is you guys might ask, like, what do you know about dealing with stress? What do you know about dealing with your emotions? What do you know about dealing with pressure in life? And how can you really help me? Well, there was one night I went out on this op, my last Ranger mission. On that op, we had a lot of friendly casualties. We started taking contact. My platoon sergeant actually, he got wounded. The enemy was dropping frag grenades down on top of our task force. A piece of grenade shrapnel went into his legs. Well, his leg. The shrapnel went into his legs. And he wasn't the only one. There were several others that got concussed, had shrapnel. And when we finally got him out of the gunfight, when we finally got him out of there, one of the team leaders that I was serving with, he pulled him out of direct gunfire. Okay, talk about adrenaline, talk about stress, talk about focus, man. When that shit was happening, I just remember, if you've ever had a traumatic experience, you kind of dissociate a little bit. I was catching myself dissociating and snapping back into it, dissociating and snapping back into it. Dude, you are a leader in charge. Focus. What's the next step? What's the next step? And it would have been really easy to panic in that moment. And I'd be lying if I said that it was flawless execution on my part, but I definitely know I had moments where I was gauging what I should do in the situation, and I was feeling some of the overwhelm, but I decided to move forward anyway. So anyways, this team leader runs towards the gunfire, pulls my platoon sergeant out. He comes over to me. As we get around the corner, he's starting to limp. He's limping like that. And he's like, "Hey, sir, will you look at my leg and tell me what's going on?" And he's kind of doing like this. So I get down on a knee. We cut open like his pant leg and we start looking. I shine a little light on there and I'm like, "Yeah, you got shrapnel all your leg. Your leg's bleeding." So we have a short dialogue, and we try to, we're laying down some more gunfire towards the enemy fighter that's firing down on top of us. The squad that's out there is firing down. I can't remember exactly if I fired at that exact specific time, but either way, we ended up pulling back and we started bounding back. Okay, we actually used military battle drills to bound back, just like you do in doctrine. And so we started bounding back, and then he went over to the medics. The medics started treating him, and they stuck him with, they thought it was some anti-inflammatory, but turned out it was something else, which, it ended up taking him out, and he went unconscious. When that happened, when my platoon sergeant went unconscious, I thought he died. I thought he died, bro. And I thought he died right there, right in front of me. And a radio call went up. Somebody saw it happening as well. And that during that radio call, the commander called up that we had one wounded, but somehow the translation got reported as one potentially KIA, killed in action. When that happened, my wife got notified, because when you had Rangers out there on the battlefield, if there was a casualty, the unit would notify the next of kin immediately. That way they beat the media to it, and that way they notified them first and they didn't hear it from some other type of source. Well, my wife answers the phone and they tell her, hey, ma'am, we have the guys went out tonight and there's been a report that somebody's potentially been killed out there. Well, my wife's heart dropped because she didn't know who it was. She didn't know if it was me, somebody I was serving with. And between my wife panicking, myself panicking out there, and I'm sure everybody else that was out there that night was panicking as well, we all got shook up. Now, fortunately, we all made it out alive, and what ended up happening, my platoon sergeant didn't die. They weren't sure. To be completely honest, they just over treated him with something, and he came back too. But the moral of the story is that we got out of there that night, and I've learned a lot about stress over the years. And what I'll tell you guys is that when it comes to getting stressed out in your life, never fucking get stressed about shit that hasn't happened yet. Stop getting stressed out with things that haven't happened yet. You are only allowed to get stressed when the facts come, not when the emotions hit. Okay, when the emotion hit me, when I saw him and I thought he was dead, I started making all types of assumptions. I didn't know. I thought he was dead. Is he dead? I don't know. And I started panicking. When my wife heard that somebody had gotten hurt on the op, she didn't know who it was. She started panicking. Oh my gosh, what if it was my husband? Oh my gosh, I wonder oh my God, what happened? But real leaders, in those moments where their mind starts to race and worry about things that isn't even true yet, these hypotheticals, these scenarios that don't have any facts, they start to get themselves worked up. Real leaders, what they do when they start getting themselves worked up is they report and respond to the facts. What are the facts, dude? This person I was talking to earlier said, okay, you heard your husband has cancer. Do they know anything yet? She said, no. I said, okay, well, you know what I learned in the military? It's to not get upset before you know the facts. There's no sense in getting yourself worked up when you don't know what's going to happen. You only are allowed to get upset when the facts come through. So hold back on your emotions until you have the facts, guys. Like the election time. A lot of you guys got jacked up during the election. Oh my God, what if this happens? What if this happens? What if that happens? So you're living in fear and panic all the time. What are the facts, dude? Look around you. You're alive, you're well, you're kicking ass. Things are happening in the economy, sure. But are you living in a perpetual state of fear? Are you being a real leader who only responds off of facts and gets emotional around facts and doesn't allow their reactions to take over? So real leaders, they don't let their mind drift to those hypotheticals. They bring themselves back to reality, and they don't react to the unknowns. They react to facts. All right, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Hope this is useful for you. Hope this is the video that when you're going through a stressful time, you come back to it and you say, you know what, this is the one that's going to ground me. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did enjoy the video, leave a comment down below and tell me if you guys want more military stories, more mindset, more leadership. You guys let me know what you want more of down below, and I'll see you guys in future videos. Conquer all.